In a harrowing twist of fate that left viewers gasping and Port Charles trembling, Dr. Britt Westbourne's life hung by a thread after a desperate and dangerous decision nearly cost her everything. Her pulse weakened, her breath grew shallow, and time was nearly up until the one person who has loved her unconditionally, her mother, Dr. Liesl, defied fate and delivered a miracle. What really happened during Britt's near-death experience? Who poisoned her, and what secrets were uncovered in the process? Buckle up. This 4,000-word deep dive explores the adrenaline-charged fallout that sent shockwaves through General Hospital. It all started in the sterile, dimmed research lab beneath General Hospital, a place where breakthroughs and disasters go hand in hand. Britt, haunted by guilt and desperate to undo a series of events linked to Sunny's recent poisoning, had received a cryptic message from Dalton's lab. Inside was a mysterious vial, half-labeled, with notes scrawled in code. Rumors circulated that it was a possible antidote for Sunny's affliction, but only if correctly reverse-engineered. The problem? It had been tested. Jason, who had been staying close to Britt since returning from LA with fragments of memories about Dalton's past, urged caution. "Don't even think about it, Britt. We don't know what this is," he warned, standing guard as she examined the fluid under the microscope. "This could kill you." But Britt was determined. "If this can save Sunny and maybe even others, I have to try. I can't keep losing people because I played it safe," she murmured, echoing the pain she carried since Nathan's death and her past mistakes. Without telling anyone else, Britt prepped the antidote. She modified it slightly, hoping to reduce the risks, and then, in a single daring moment, injected herself. The reaction was almost immediate. Within minutes of administering the dose, Britt felt her limbs grow heavy, her skin go pale. Jason, who had only stepped out to call Liesl for a second opinion, returned to find Britt seizing on the floor. No, Britt," Jason screamed, rushing to her side. Her eyes fluttered. "Call Liesl," she rasped before slipping into unconsciousness. General Hospital was thrown into lockdown protocol. Doctors rushed in, but no one understood what she had taken. Tests showed rapid cellular degradation and nerve damage, something akin to neurotoxic shock. Time was running out. Dr. Liesl had been in Zurich, attending a controversial international medical ethics summit, when Jason's frantic call came through. Within minutes, she was on a jet back to Port Charles, refusing sedation or delay. "I don't care about customs. My daughter is dying," she snapped at the security officers at JFK, bulldozing her way through. Liesl arrived at General Hospital within 6 hours. Despite the chaos, she stormed into the lab, scanned the half-burned notes Britt had been working on, and her face drained of all color. She recognized the formula. "This isn't just an antidote. It's part of a molecular destabilizer developed by the WSB years ago. It attacks DNA strands while simultaneously attempting repair. The margin for error is razor-thin." Jason stepped forward. "Can you counter it?" Liesl didn't hesitate. "Yes. But I need every vial of stabilizing agent in the hospital. And Jason, if you want her to live, don't leave my side." As Liesl worked furiously to develop the antidote, she realized something chilling. The chemical compound Britt used bore the markers of a particular formula that Liesl had developed years ago, one she believed was destroyed. It was based on a controversial therapy meant to enhance immune regeneration but had been shut down after 2 test subjects died. Liesl had buried the research to protect herself, and Britt. "How did she get this?" Liesl murmured. Jason revealed the vial had been sent anonymously. It didn't take long for Spinelli to trace the source, an abandoned WSB safehouse, formerly linked to Victor Cassadine. It was becoming clear that someone wanted Britt dead, or worse, wanted to use her to test a fatal experiment. But why now? Liesl created the counteragent in record time, calling in favors from former colleagues. She administered the antidote in a tense moment that silenced even the most cynical hospital staff. As the antidote entered Britt's bloodstream, her body reacted violently, convulsing, her eyes bloodshot, heart rate erratic. Jason held her hand, whispering, "You're not going out like this. You're too damn stubborn." And then, after what felt like hours, her vitals stabilized. Her breathing evened out. Britt opened her eyes and whispered, "Mom?" Tears welled in Liesl's eyes. "Ja mein Liebe, I am here, and you will never do anything so foolish again." In her dazed state, Britt shared a half-conscious revelation. While under the serum's effects, she'd seen Nathan, her brother, standing in a field of white light, telling her, "There's still more to do, Britta. You are the one who will expose them." Britt's recovery took days. During that time, Port Charles buzzed with speculation. How had she gotten the vial? Who sent it? Anna Devane paid a visit to Liesl in the lab and dropped a bombshell. "We intercepted a signal that confirms Victor Cassadine had been developing biochemical warfare methods. This formula? It was intended for use on mass populations." Liesl realized Victor had hidden the vial as a trap for someone smart enough to decode it and foolish enough to try it. That person had been her daughter. Britt, now stronger, called a press conference from her hospital bed. "I made a mistake. I risked my life believing I could fix what others have broken. But we're dealing with something bigger than just one toxin. Someone is trying to unleash a biochemical weapon. And I intend to stop them." The fallout was swift and deeply personal. Jason, shaken by how close he came to losing Britt, admitted to Carly, "I thought I lost her, and I couldn't do anything. I never felt so powerless." Carly, still reeling from the Sunny crisis, advised him, "If you love her, don't waste another second." Jason took her advice to heart. Meanwhile, Liesl began digging into old WSB files with Anna and Spinelli. What they found confirmed their worst fears. Dalton hadn't been working alone. A former WSB scientist named Dr. Merrick Soren, presumed dead, was alive and continuing Victor's work. Worse, he had a list of potential targets. As the team pieced together Soren's plans, they discovered he intended to release a more advanced version of the destabilizer in a medical conference in Geneva, where Maxie and Lucy were headed. Britt refused to be sidelined. "I didn't come back to die, and I'm sure as hell not sitting this one out." Against Liesl's wishes, she returned to the lab, coordinating with Anna, Jordan, Spinelli, and even Sunny, who, despite his ongoing recovery, offered protection. Jason stayed by her side. It was the first time in months that General Hospital saw such unity. The reformed villains, former lovers, and estranged family members all pulling together to stop a catastrophe. Maxie, warned just in time, avoided the Geneva trap. But Liesl and Britt were not done. They wanted Merrick caught, and every remnant of the poison destroyed. Using Britt as bait, the team orchestrated a trap. Liesl leaked false intel that Britt had synthesized the formula completely and was willing to sell it. Within days, Merrick appeared in Port Charles under an alias. What he didn't expect was Britt herself injecting him with a tracking microdose of the serum. "Let's see how you like playing lab rat," she whispered before the authorities stormed in. Merrick was taken down in front of the entire hospital staff, shocking GH's medical board and sending ripples through the WSB. Anna and Liesl stood side by side as Merrick was cuffed. "You always did like chaos," Liesl said. "And you always were the better scientist," Merrick replied bitterly. With the threat neutralized, Britt found herself changed. Jason took her to the cliffs overlooking Spoon Island. "You scared the hell out of me, you know," he said quietly. Britt smiled. "It wasn't my finest moment." He looked at her. "You're alive. That's all that matters." Their hands brushed. A moment passed. And then, for the first time since her return, Britt kissed Jason, not out of desperation, but with full awareness of what nearly slipped away. Elsewhere, Liesl visited Nathan's grave. "I saved our Britta, my son. I kept my promise. And I will make sure her brilliance is never manipulated again." General Hospital offered Britt the Chief of Research position, a title she initially declined but ultimately accepted, under one condition: all research involving biowarfare must be permanently outlawed. Jason offered to stay in Port Charles longer. "You're stuck with me," he said. And Britt, strong, scarred, but smiling, finally allowed herself to believe in second chances. "Let them come," she said, standing in her lab, now protected with new protocols. "I'm ready." Liesl's secret. Though Merrick was arrested, Liesl kept one vial of the original serum. She claims it's for research, but could she have other plans? Jason and Britt's future. Fans may see a true power couple emerging in Port Charles as Britt and Jason's bond deepens. A new enemy. In the shadows of the WSB, a new operative watched Marek's downfall, someone far more dangerous. Britt's legacy. A new foundation in Nathan's name is started by Britt and Maxie, with focus on ethical medicine and protection of vulnerable communities. Britt nearly lost her life, but she found a purpose. And Port Charles just might have found its most unlikely hero.